Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Paula Ludwig with the Atlantic Institute. We are a nonprofit organization who promotes positive dialogue between meeting your neighbors, interfaith, just having positive conversations. I'm going to now show you a short 2-minute video that explains it a lot better than I can, and then we'll get going. Uh, Hang on, I forgot the
The
sound
Acrylic
part.
Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting harmonious codes.
All right, there we go.
The Atlantic Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting harmonious coexistence between peoples of various cultures, faiths, and backgrounds. We seek this goal through peaceful dialogue, education initiatives, and community organization. Our dialogue events bring together experts, community and faith leaders, and knowledge seekers to address social issues that affect us all. We feel dialogue is the most important element in peaceful coexistence, so we try and maintain several panel discussions, TED Talk events, and book clubs throughout the year. These events touch on social issues, race relations, and cultural understanding and are a mainstay of our programming. The Atlantic Institute's education events are extremely important to our mission of understanding. We want to promote socially forward critical thinking to students of all ages. To that end, we have developed programs that seek to grow the creative spirit of students and help them think about their communities and the world around them. Our Future Leaders of Dialogue event brings together nominated elite students to learn from each other as well as political and business leaders. Our art and essay contest gives students a theme about important societal issues and allows them to create wonderful works of art and writing while steering their minds towards improving their world. We're always seeking ways to educate youths and adults in order to make a peaceful world for all of us. Our community events are designed to transform neighbors into friends and groups of people into a community. By associating with other nonprofits or by our own initiative, we are always trying to discover new avenues to improve our neighborhoods, places of worship, and community centers. We host cooking demonstrations of food from other cultures, work with various nonprofits to help elevate the work of others, and try to find a way to make the lives of those who are disenfranchised or marginalized better. Building a more peaceful world starts in our backyards, so we are dedicated to improving our communities and associations. The Atlantic Institute is always seeking like-minded volunteers and collaborators. If you would like to learn more, find volunteer opportunities, or just want to chat with our staff, please visit our website at www.atlanticinstitutesc.org or follow us on Facebook. We will never run out of fun, educational, peaceful events, so come join us to help make this world a better place full of understanding and unity.
All right. So I am going to admit who are people. Spotlight.
If you're too far away when you have purple border, you won't get the rubber. So, like if you're all the way to the back, it's going to take you longer.
All right. Sorry about that. I am now going to turn this over to our instructor, Ranita, and I want to thank her for doing this for us. It's awesome. And I am going to spotlight her now for us. There we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to paint this with you. Actually, Atlantic Institute, she has it on her background. This is of course, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I was raised by my grandmother and I lost her to breast cancer. So This month is especially powerful for me. So you guys, I always encourage my painters to choose what you like. But let me stop and say, hey, I'm Ronita. I am a Purposeful Point, and I teach painting online and in person. I love teaching. That is my gift. That's my calling. So I just want to say you can choose whichever colors you like. And again, I'm going to focus on pink. I'm going to show you one that I did in a different color. If you want to try orange and blue background like that. So it really pops because blue and orange kind of complement each other. So all that to say, choose the colors that you like. First, I want to talk about our tools. What are we going to be using? I'm using an 11 by 14 canvas acrylic paper. You use what you like. If you use paper or canvas or anything like that, use what works best for you. There's no right or wrong. Also, I'm using acrylic paint. Acrylic paint does stain and it dries fast, so protect your clothing. I am on an easel, but I prefer to paint flat. But for this process, of course, we're going to be painting on the easel. But for yourself, flat is better. That way you can kind of move it around and get in the angles that you might not be able to on the easel. That's the paint brushes. I like to use the synthetic brushes. You can usually find, I like flat brushes. You can use what works best for you. I love my flat brushes, but and try to find one. You can usually find in the store about a 1 inch, anywhere from like a ½ inch or 1 inch is about the largest that you may find. But again, use what works best for you. There's no right or wrong. I'm going to start with, and again, you work at your own pace. You do what works for you. I want to paint my whole background. I want to paint the whole canvas pink. Make sure you have a cup of water near so that you can rinse your brushes in between. And then also a paper towel to kind of dry your brush, not dry it off, but get rid of any excess water so it won't kind of be too wet and run down your canvas. All right, so I do like to wet my brush a little bit to get started because I want the paint to move freely across the canvas. And feel free to unmute and ask me any questions if you have any. So like I said, let's go ahead and get started. There's no direction, rhyme, or reason how I'm adding my paint to my canvas. I like the texture that going back and forth, circles, round, all kind of different ways. I like the texture that it gives for my backgrounds, kind of gives it dimension and it doesn't look flat. I always like to tell my painters, we are not painting a wall. So it's okay. It doesn't have to be totally opaque and covered. You can see that there's some areas that are lighter, some areas darker. In the end, that's what we're going for anyway. So I'm okay with that. It does not have to be a completely solid, like we're painting a wall. We're not doing that. So don't worry about making sure everything is exact and even. And I actually see some of my regular painters on here with me. Hey, y'all. Judy and Eva and Greg.
Hi.
We're just going to cover the background. And of course, like I said, I'm using pink. You choose what works best for you. I'm going to use pink and then some more pink. No, just kidding. Just 2 shades of pink, a darker and a lighter pink. And then the kind of blue, a blue to kind of give it some contrast. Make it pop a little bit. I'm going to attempt to cover my whole background. But again, guys, if it's not completely pink, it's okay. Like I said, I love the texture. And then it's no big deal about that, how it ends up in that middle, because we're going to paint a big pumpkin right on top of there. There's no right or wrong as far as, okay, so there is a right or wrong. It's wrong to make it a solid, flat, opaque background, okay? So just make sure that you don't worry about how, if it's a solid background. But I know it's kind of hard for some people. I find, especially someone who's kind of like engineer, they want everything exact, flat. And then I guess if anyone in here that does paint walls, they're probably accustomed to a flat paint wall. It's okay. See some folks going a little bit different about their background. I love it. I love to see the different variations that people have based on my painting. So that'll be exciting at the end. Are there any Atlantic Institute regulars on here? Okay. Beatrice. Awesome.
Beatrice, Tabitha, let's see, Judy's name looks familiar. I'm sure there's more.
Mhm.
Tony.
So welcome to those who just joined in. We are painting our background, our paint color of choice. Mine's is, my pumpkin's going to be pretty much pink for breast cancer awareness this month. So you can pretty much make it your painting, make it your own masterpiece. So I'm gonna make my outline, my pumpkin outline. I'm gonna use my darker pink. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my canvas. All right, Nicole is using the Arteza. That's what I use, Arteza acrylic paper. That's what I'm painting on as well. And I've tried other brands, and I always come back to Arteza. I get it from Amazon. All right, so for the outline for our pumpkin, I'm gonna hold it up there. I'm gonna go and do my sections, section by section, put a couple sections here to kind of center things, and then put my stem in there. And of course, everything's gonna be outlined in pink, but it'll change up later. And you can use your pointer brush to do that, or I like to use my flat brush. Instead of holding it horizontal, I'll turn it vertical and use it, its slim part, you know, kind of to give me my outline, kind of almost like a pencil. So you decide how big you want that pumpkin, where you want that at on your canvas. I'm gonna suggest you leave a little bit of room down below. We're gonna put some shadows there. And then so if you wanna fill your page, that'll be awesome. But I don't want any tiny pumpkins. Go ahead and fill the page. If you might as well, you've gotten this far, fill your page up with the pumpkins. No tiny pumpkins. For some reason, all of us have a tendency to go small. So there's no mess ups here. This is like a really abstract. You can paint over top. If you start out small, you can still make them bigger, paint on top of your lines, guys. So you might as well, you bought this large canvas, this size canvas, fill it up. So, okay, so now basically, I'm gonna take this section, it's almost like an oval. I'm gonna put that first one there. You guys see that? Almost like an egg shape, but more even. Okay, mine's is a little bit not centered, but you get what I'm trying to do. So, and then also we're gonna just kind of go again, put another one over here. Bring it down to the bottom. We're just adding our sections, and you see there it kind of crossed there. It's okay. There's no mess ups. Okay, I'll put another one. I'm gonna bring it out. I'm gonna put one over here. And then I'm gonna make this next one a little bit slimmer. It doesn't have to be as big as the other ones sections were. Because that we're starting to go around the pumpkin. And then I'm gonna make this last one here. And this one's also kind of slim. And they don't have to be even. They don't have to be exact. Again, it's abstract. I'm gonna go ahead and put my stem here. It's kind of the outline. Later, I'll paint it a different color. And my focus is it's gonna be a bit wider as it's closer to the pumpkin and gets thinner as I go up. So you can see that, and then we're gonna go get a little bit thinner. So there's my stem. So now I want to throw in some sections that are a little bit smaller. It's like the back of the pumpkin that you can't see, but it's there. And I'm starting here where I started the stem, kind of going up, kind of give it some humps there. Okay. And I'm going to do a couple on the other side as well. Okay. Now we have our pumpkin. And so, I mean, we're going to be layering and we're going to cover this all up. So don't worry about it being exact. Okay, guys? As you can see, mine's, I have a double line here. And because I know I'm going to layer it and it's going to change the appearance for sure. Okay. And so I'm still using a flat brush. I did get a little bit smaller than what I used for my background, but I'm still using my smaller brush. And again, we are abstract, and abstract is my jam. So don't worry about it being exact. All right. So I'm still using my smaller flat brush, and I'm still in my darker pink. So now I want to kind of go around the outside of my sections. Well, on the inside of the sections, but just around the edges of my sections. As you can see, like that, kind of going around that. Fill that in. You want to go around. And then I'm going to dip my brush in my light pink. For you guys, if you're going to go with orange, then you can use a red and then use like I have my dark pink, and then I can for you guys, you use red instead of dark pink if you're going to use an orange pumpkin, and then use your orange shade of orange, whereas I'm using my light pink to kind of blend on the inside of the pumpkin, just around the edges where you put the dark. You guys see that? Just blend it in a little bit. And by blending, all I did was, again, I didn't rinse my brush out. I still had that dark pink in there. Dipped it in my the lighter orange and kind of went around, not exactly on top of the darker pink, but next to it, and just kind of blended the two. I'm going to do this again for each section. And now this section, it's not that, the middle one is, it's a full section. And then the ones on the side, they're partial section. But I'm only going to go around the outside. I'm not going to go closest to the middle section. You guys can see what I mean, like that. You can see there. So I'm only going to go add that my darker color kind of still on the outside, and still leave my center, even though that section is here. Hey to Ohio. She says, happy day, all Ohio. And I'm going to do the same thing again with my lighter pink, kind of go on top, not completely, but on the edge of where the dark pink is, or for you guys, your orange on top of that red. Okay. Shaping up a little bit. Mine is a little bit crooked, but I'm going to work with it. It works for me. And I'm going to do the same thing with this next section with my darker pink. And come back on top with that lighter orange to kind of blend it all together. Hope you guys have an awesome Saturday.
And so far, sun is shining and no frost.
Oh yeah, in Canada, you were saying on Thursday the frost. I'm shocked.
Well, I think tomorrow or Monday, I think the high is going to be 45.
Ugh.
Right now we're at 61 and sunshine.
Not looking forward to it. I like spring.
In Canada, it's our Thanksgiving weekend, so.
Oh, okay. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Yeah, my dad gave me the duck and said, here, you cook it. Never cooked duck before.
You have to Google it.
Yep. That's what I plan to do tonight.
So in Canada, you said duck, not so much a turkey. Is there
Oh no,
any
most
other
people have
difference?
turkey,
Oh,
but
okay.
he bought the duck for Easter, but I broke my jaw at Easter, so I couldn't eat anything. So he kept it in the freezer, and now he figures it's time to. So he defrosted it before he talked to me, and then tells me to cook it. He's only going to be 90 next Saturday, so I can't really complain.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I'm continuing on with my sections by just kind of putting that my darker shade on the outside. And then adding my lighter color. So now you guys should start to see that those sections are, our pumpkin is no longer flat. It's got some dimension now. You should start seeing some dimension with the different shades of color. So I love this part. My college professor, I'm not sure if he was a professor, but my college art teacher, he said that we're like magic. And so this is where the magic is happening, where you start to see the pumpkin transform into a pumpkin. And don't forget about your little humps up there, the sections that are kind of in the back. Those are probably, since they're kind of in the back, they're going to be more darker than lighter. So. Okay. A little bit on there, but the dark is going to pretty much kind of dominate that section. Okay. Now for those, because my background was pink, it was okay for my inside to be kind of pink. So if you need to go ahead and fill that in with orange, you can do that. So you'll still have your red on the outside and kind of orange in the middle. You can go ahead and just paint that, your insides with the orange. So I'm not, mine's is already pink, the shade that I wanted. So I'm not really that much concerned about it. So I'll let you guys go ahead and fill that in. So you guys can see, I'm going to show you the section. I want to start adding, you can see there's like a turquoise in there as well. Just another layer of abstract. I'm going to grab that color. I don't think I'm going to use a turquoise, but I think mine's is going to be a little bit lighter. So I'm pretty sure I'm out of that darker turquoise. Oh, no, I don't. I see it. I found it. I do have that same turquoise. So we're going to go with that turquoise. I have a lot of paint. There we go. So I am rinsing my brush. I'm finally rinsing my brush, having to rinse my brush because I'm switching colors. So mainly I use my water to switch colors. So go ahead and rinse the brush out. Push it around in there, get that orange out. And now, again, this is all kind of abstract. It's not exact. And you don't have to put the blue on there, but you can if you like. Again, just It's for fun. So I'm going to start with the middle section. I'm going to put it kind of right where the dark and the light began. Just like one swipe there. Okay. And I'm going to put one along the outside of this first section. And it doesn't have to be exact if you go over the line. This is fun art, no fine art here. So, and then put enough. I'm pretty much going to probably put a little bit of the blue on every section. Okay. A little bit on the ones that are kind of in the back. Just kind of having fun with it. Just one, basically one swipe. And then we're done with the blue. You can use it if like when we try kind of play around with the background, if you want to add some in the background, that's your choice as well. I like it that Nicole has her camera on. I'm kind of basing my pace on where about where she is. So that helps a lot. Now, I did use some dark blue. And again, you choose what you like. Now for my orange, I did the orange one. I actually used black to paint my stem and in between each section. But for the pink, I just used a dark blue, a phthalo blue. And I'm gonna still using my flat brush. I'm gonna kind of outline each section of my my pumpkin. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. It's fun. It's about having fun. Unless you plan on selling it, this is just for you. And now just basically I'm taking my flat brush. Like I said, I'll turn it vertical up and down and just kind of using it just like I would a pencil. I like it this way because it allows me to have more paint on my brush. With the pointer brush for me, I'd have to dip it multiple times to get. I would just have to keep dipping it to make sure I had enough paint on my brush. I like the contrast of the dark blue and the pink. So I'm just outlining each section. And go to my other side and get that outlined. It's starting to cool off here in Kentucky, but it's still during the day, it's pretty warm. So it still doesn't quite feel like pumpkin season, but I know for some reason, some people, we are there, especially in Canada. You guys are frost. Yeah, definitely pumpkin season. So I also want to, Tabitha says, hey to everyone. Oh, she says hee hee. And so I'm going to go ahead and fill in that stem, and it's just going to be blue. If you like, you can have your stem brown, whatever you like. Now, like I said, on my orange pumpkin, actually my stem was black. I used black instead of the blue. So you can use that, whatever works best for you. Now, as we were painting the stem, you might think, oh, it looks kind of flat. And we're going to work with that as well to bring it to life, just like we did the pumpkin sections. So while we still have that darker blue in our brush, you can see that I have kind of like the shadow of the pumpkin, shadow underneath the pumpkin. I'm going to go ahead and use that blue to do that. And again, that's not any different kind of, it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, and bring some out like to the side. I know this way and that. It doesn't have to be solid. It's okay if there's a little pink that shines through, or just a little bit of whatever. And that's our shadow for our pumpkin underneath. Just swipe it back and forth just to kind of, we don't want it to look uniform. That's important. And not to look uniform. Because nothing else is uniform. You don't want to throw some uniformity into that section. Okay, yeah, it's just no exact to it, just swipe, 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 swipe. All right. So next I want to white. Adding the white's my favorite part. It's like putting, what do they say, lipstick on a pig? Not really, but if you're putting on your makeup and everything, you know, you have all your foundation, your eye makeup, everything. What's the last thing you put on it? On part of your makeup is your lipstick, for those of you who wear it. Sorry, Greg. So I want to switch over to my white paint. I'm going to put a little bit on my tray. Get that blue out of my blue out. And hopefully by now, the most of our pumpkins should be fairly dry. Maybe the blue might not be, the dark blue might not be dry, but we're not going to just stay away from those areas. We're going to add some white. Let me go ahead and add right here in the middle. So I put the white on my brush, but I wiped some of the white off on my tray because I didn't want too much white. And so, but if I need more, I can come back. But yeah, just kind of start out. So if I want more, I can kind of go back. And again, it's almost kind of a shadow there. And just avoid the blue sections, the dark blue, because they might still be kind of wet. So we're just kind of mostly kind of putting some kind of highlights in our pumpkin. I'm going to add a little more white to that because I want it to pop a little more. And then, of course, just about every section, we're going to put a little bit of white, just like we did with the blue. We're with the turquoise color. We're not going to put white on top of the turquoise. You can put it on top of the pink someplace. It's not a lot. Don't completely cover it, but just gives it a little character. We're adding a little character to our paintings, and white does that. You guys can see. And if you put the white on and you really don't care for it, don't put the white, but white, I love it. It's my thing. To me, like I said, it gives it a little character. And don't worry about being exact. And of course, we're going to do it to all of our sections. We're going to add white to all of our sections. Put a little bit at the top. The pumpkins. See, it just gives it just another little twist. I love it. I love it. I love it. Just a few kind of little swipes here and there. You can do more, you can do less. Now, my stem is dry. So I'm also going to put, let me show you guys some lines, kind of like the stem. That's why I say we're going to do that to make sure that it doesn't look flat.
They want to know if you teach watercolor as well.
I do not. Acrylics. So, yes, when in college I took figure drawing. About 2019, right before the pandemic, I said I had not really used paint. Like I said, I did figure drawing, and that's what I took in college. And I said, I think I want to teach paint and sip parties. So I saw a picture on like Pinterest, and I bought some acrylic paint and I painted it, and wow, and I've been painting ever since. Now, some of my painters that I've met here online, they said, hey, we want to learn watercolors. So they bought me watercolors and they mailed them to me for me to learn and practice watercolors. And I might have done 2 paintings, and I said, let's go back to acrylics. So, no. And I know watercolor is getting really big, so I'm gonna have to be patient with myself and sit down and maybe practice a little bit. But the acrylics, the colors are so vibrant. And don't get me wrong, I know that there's some watercolors that are really vibrant as well. But the acrylics are so vibrant. I love it. I love it. Now, guys, you can see my background on it's a little bit different. And so I don't know if you have any. I did that using bubble wrap. If you have any bubble wrap, if you have paper towel, anything that you may be able to get some kind of texture. Yes, it's just fun. And so I follow a lady on Instagram. She makes amazing paintings, and she does little stuff like she'll take a race car or a truck and she'll roll it in paint and roll it across her canvas. She'll take a baby shoe, she'll take a Barbie shoe, anything, and just put little things on her canvas to make different, sometimes she'll have a theme. She'll use kitchen items and just splatter the paint on there with those different things. And it's amazing. And of course, she paints in the background or on top, and then put some of those things on backwards and forwards. Just amazing. It's just so neat that she does that. So, but we're not going to use any cars. But if you have a truck, Tonka truck, a little one, and you want to roll it across your painting, I would love that. But for now, I'm just going to stick with this bubble wrap. And so I have all kinds of colors on my tray. You can choose what you want your background to do it with. So I'm going to take this darker color, which I probably should do it with white, and I'm just going to paint. You can either like dip your bubble wrap in your paint, or you can throw a little bit on your bubble wrap. And it doesn't have to be exact, no shape or anything like that. And I just had it on there. And I love the little texture, just kind of around and if you get it on your pumpkin, that's okay too. So just that. And then I'm going to take another color. I'm going to take the lighter pink. So just like if you have the turquoise and you want the turquoise background, you can do it that way as well. I'm trying to stay on task, guys. I know. You see, now I have the lighter pink. I'm going to see it's the same color as my background, so it might not show up, or it might not make a difference. It made some texture on there, so that's cool. And again, just putting it around the pumpkin, wherever you want to do with that. And then when I said paper towels, you can also take some paper towel and just dip your paint in the take your paper towel. I'm just going to show you. I got a little bit of paper towel and kind of put it over here. Can you see that it still gives you a texture? So if you want to do it with the paper towel, if you're not as fortunate as I am to have bubble wrap. And of course I have big rolls of bubble wrap, because I ship paint kits with the different designs. So I always have to keep those handy. Now I'm going to put white. I'm going to use white. And okay. So preferably you want to use bubble wrap that still has the air in the bubbles, okay, guys? Not that it wouldn't still leave a texture. Okay. And now I'm using white. I'm just gonna put it right on top of all of it to see what I can see. You can see what size I used. If you want bigger, thing like that, you can do that. It's up to you. All right. And so you can get carried away with that. So you guys sometimes remember less is more. Don't get carried away with that bubble wrap. And then we have a whole painting because that's fun. That's fun. And that's cool. So for today, maybe if you want to do it another day, go crazy with the bubble wrapping, which would be also another thing that would be beautiful is that you made a whole background of bubble wrap and then painted a design. Even if you just did the outline of the pumpkin on top, that would be really cute too. So next, I want to show you where I have show you this, my example. You can see that there's some drips kind of running down my paint. And you guys, yes, something else to do, fun to do. And that is where I just talked about making sure to have your paper towel to get rid of any excess water. Well, this time we're not going to get rid of the excess water. So our brush is going to be really, really wet. And on my palette, I'm going to mix a lot of water with whatever color I want to drip down. For this example, it's going to be the white. So I'm going to go across and hope that it's wet enough to drip, and it is not. More water, more water, more water, more water. Now, okay, finally something's starting to run. I'm putting it up there, the top of my painting. It's starting to run a little bit. Not very much, because I want it to come way down. Now, it's running a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what pretty noisy, but what I do to try to make it run down. So bam. All right, it's coming. You guys see it's coming down. All right, so that is a way to do it that way as well. So I wasn't very successful with my runs, but I probably, when I did my example, of course, I was flat and I was able to just kind of pour some down, pour it on there for it to run down. But that is also something that you can do to get that effect. All right, I'm gonna stop beating my painting. So this is usually a time that at the end, I was like, hey, if you want to, you can this is a time to make the painting your own, put something little that says this is you, this is your painting, something unique or not. So like for me, I'm gonna put in my example, you might not have noticed, but I did try to put the breast cancer ribbon in my painting. Now, my example, I put them in a lighter color, but put it in my lighter pink, but I put it on top of my dark. See if that worked. It did not, but that's what I did. Just finishing up again, just putting my touch on, which mines are my ribbons. And I don't know if you guys do it. I know with my group, we like to take a group photo at the end. Well, first we do show and tell, but it's a little bit maybe too many for show and tell. But a group photo would be awesome. Okay.
Anybody have questions? No? Are we ready to do a group photo? Yes, Eva's saying yes. All right, I'm gonna take the spotlight off.
When's your next paint class?
I don't have my schedule in front of me, but I think I have one not next. It's usually Thursday nights, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday.
Thank you. I'm going to try to follow that. I'm doing this with my daughter today. So much fun. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This was awesome. Oh, there we go. I got everybody's photo now. Somebody was adventurous and did two at once. Wow.
I know, it was Nicole. She's awesome.
Yes. Ranita, do you want to mention your business or your handle on YouTube? Oh, you put it in the chat. Yes.
Yes, I did put my website in the chat, but you can find me on Facebook and on Instagram at A Purposeful Point. And my point is spelled Ponte. Don't ask why I spell it that way, but that's where you can find me. That's where I am. And of course, also on YouTube, I have free painting tutorials on YouTube as well.
Oh, she's awesome. All right. If we don't have any more questions, then I guess we're done for the day. Thank you, everybody. This was awesome.
It's nice meeting everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Wow, you got it down to a science. That was an hour.
Bye.
Well, I like to be considerate of people's time, so for sure I'm gonna keep it as close out. And this one was one that I could do that with.
Yes, that was awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much again. I'm glad you put the plug in for your business, because now when people watch this video, because they don't see the chat, unfortunately,
Okay.
in the videos, but you said it out loud, and so now people can they can go find you, because I think, yeah, this was a lot of fun. You kept saying this is for fun, and I'm like, yes, this is for fun.
Yes,
Like,
yes. Don't take it seriously. Mess up a
No.
little bit. It's okay.
It's okay, yes. So sometimes what I suggest to instructors is if you have something with your business name or your to actually show it on
Okay.
so that it's there. You know what I mean? Like people don't just have to see it, but they can see it and they can pause the video and then go look for it on YouTube or on Google stuff. So
Okay.
that's just my suggestion to help promote you more.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate that.
All right.
All right.